Having learned how to write the rate law from a mechanism, let's take up an example of where you're given a reaction, you are told its rate law, and you're asked to propose a reaction mechanism. So in here, keep in mind that you can give any reasonable answer. The only conditions that your answer needs to meet are what were given here to you. So a proposed reaction mechanism, the steps must add up to give the overall equation, and the theoretically obtained rate law must be identical to the experimentally derived rate law. So let's apply these two conditions to this situation. So instead of having a 3 molecular collision, let me stick to a bimolecular collision. So I can come up with any mechanism that meets those two conditions. Of course, if you were actually doing this in a lab, you would try to isolate some intermediates and verify. But right now in grade 12, all you can write is, you can say, well, maybe the two A's collide and they produce something like an E. And then maybe this E reacts with a B to produce a C. And then maybe another B reacts with another A to form a D. Like I said, you could propose anything, but it has to meet two conditions. First, when you add them up, it must give you the original equation. So let me see, I can cancel E and then really nothing else. So I will have to add this up, and what I get is 3A plus 2B forms C plus D. So maybe not such a free open-ended question then, right? So I don't get the balanced chemical equation as suggested here. So that tells me that this reaction mechanism, not good enough. Okay. So then let's try to come up with a system where we can suggest something that would meet the equation and also meet the rate law. So the fact that this is the rate law tells me something, that the slowest step must be something where A and B combine to give me something. So why don't I start there? So the first thing I want to do is I want to say that my slow step would have A and B producing something. So which means I've taken care of the B, I must use one more A, and I need to produce two C's and one D. So how about if I produce a C right now, and I could either stop here or maybe let me bring something else, another intermediate E. So I have to produce one more C and one more D. I need to use an A on the left side. So let's use A, and let this be an intermediate, and let me use this intermediate E to form, well, what else do I need? I need another C plus D, and let's say this is the fast step. Let me verify, does that work? So let me add this up. This is an intermediate. I chose them in a way that I can add them to get 2A plus B forms 2C plus D. And I also chose my slowest step already to give me the rate law. And because this was the first step, I really don't have to worry about the fast step interfering or try to do the steady state approximation. Okay. Maybe if it is sounding confusing right now, try a few examples. Trust me, I've seen this year after year. It is not as hard as it looks. Kids really get a hang of this very soon. And if still something doesn't make sense, please come and see me during office hours. Okay, so good luck with the practice.